now. Are we ready to go, Mr. Manzi?
Yes.
Okay, so it is now 4:01. I'd like to call to order the June 21st meeting of the Traffic Authority. We have a quorum with Commissioner Fran Collier Clemens and Mayor Rilling. I believe Commissioner Sternidi will be joining us shortly. First item on the agenda is public participation. Mr. Manzi, do we have anybody wishing to address the commission?
We have a few people from the public attending. If anyone would like to speak or address the commission, please raise your hand now electronically. I do not see anyone raising their hand.
Okay, Chief or Mr. Yosak, do you have anything that needs to be read into the minutes?
We have one letter in there that's it's attached in your agenda as a discussion item later on.
Right, from Ms. Chang, I have that.
Yes,
Okay,
I've received nothing else.
okay. Seeing no other hands raised, I will move on to the next item of business, which is to approve the minutes of the Traffic Authority meeting of Monday, May 17th, 2021. Do I have a motion? You are on mute, Commissioner.
Okay, I move.
Okay, are there any corrections, omissions, deletions?
Yes, there are some corrections to the minutes. On page 1,
Okay,
the attendance, commission dash Collier Clemens, that should be commissioner with no dash.
okay,
On page 4, paragraph 1, no dash between commissioner and Collier, and no dash between commissioner and Collier in paragraph 3.
okay,
On page 6, paragraph 2, where Ms. Sharitz said they rode, that should be the.
where's that? I'm sorry.
That's on page 6, paragraph 2, first line, where it's the second sentence, Ms. Sharitz said they rode, it should be the road.
Okay,
And then under item 2, Chestnut Street, paragraph 2, commissioner, no dash between commissioner and Collier.
okay. Any other corrections or deletions?
Those are all that I have.
Okay, so all in, I see Commissioner Sternidi has joined us. Commissioner Sternidi, do we have any corrections to the minutes of,
I do not, but thank you.
okay. So the item has been moved with corrections made. All in favor of approving the minutes as corrected, signify by saying aye.
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 Aye, motion carries. Item number 2. Can I have someone move that for discussion?
So moved.
Okay, that is concur with the department's recommendation to lower the speed limit to 25 on Newtown Avenue between Chestnut Hill Road and the city limits and forward to the state of Connecticut OSTA for approval. I think that's pretty self-explanatory. Mr. Bilella, do you have anything to add to that, or Mr. Yosak?
Yeah, I can speak just very shortly to it. This arose as a request from the neighborhood, a livability request, and it was forwarded to us by the pedestrian committee. But this section has much lower volumes than the state section, significantly lower. It's much more residential in character, and it also doesn't have any sidewalks. So one of the things we're also looking to do this summer as part of our maintenance program is to stripe shoulders on the roadway, consistent with what's on the state route, and then Newtown Turnpike to the north. So at the same time, we looked at the signage and we saw that Newtown Turnpike to the north is also 25 miles per hour. And given just the character of this roadway, we feel it would provide more consistency within the network and better speeds along the roadway.
Okay, thank you. Any questions from anyone? Comments?
I think this is very well explained and why it's needed and that it's consistent with another roadway in the area. So I have no questions.
Okay, so the item's been moved. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries unanimously. Thank you. Next item is to approve establishing a no parking anytime zone on the north side of St. John Street from Selleck Street to Osborne Avenue, and on the west side of Selleck Street from St. John's Street south for 110 feet. Who's going to move that?
Move the item.
Commissioner Stroniti moves the item. Who's from the staff?
I'll speak to that one too, Mayor,
Okay,
as well. So as part of our maintenance program, we're looking at restriping that roadway, the center line along that roadway. And we went out and did a site investigation because of just some complaints at that corner. So this is the corner of St. John Street and Osborne Avenue. And just given the existing parking regulations, it's a little too tight at the corner. It's basically a 90-degree turn. So we're just requesting on St. John Street on the northerly curb from Osborne to Selleck Street, and then on the westerly curb of Osborne Avenue, just about 110 feet south. And I believe there's a diagram in the packet to just establish a no parking zone. All the other parking along Osborne Avenue along the westerly curb would be maintained, but this would allow people to safely traverse the corner and not cross over the double yellow center line.
yeah, I see. So how many parking spaces altogether will we lose? I don't,
So based on the existing regulations out there, we'll lose maybe 3 to 4, but they aren't always occupied, just based on some observations. If you see in the picture, there's a car parked. We're proposing that where that car is parked in the picture, that they'll still be allowed to park there. So that's just taken from an aerial. So we want to accommodate as many vehicles as possible. But just for the safety of travelers, we just like to give them room as they turn the corner.
commissioners, any questions?
No, I have no questions.
I travel Osborne Avenue quite a bit going down St. John's. I certainly concur that something needs to be done there. And the length of Osborne between there and Fort Point, between Osborne and Fort Point. I'm sorry, between St. John's and Fort Point. A lot of times there's parking on both sides and cars trying to pass each other, one in one lane and one in the other. It's very difficult to do so, but so maybe we can take a look at that and see what recommendation you might have there as well.
Absolutely.
Any further discussion? Seeing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Okay, next item on the agenda is approve the installation of an LED radar speed limit sign on Broad Street for eastbound traffic. Can we have a motion?
So move.
Motion has been made. And who will discuss this?
I will, Mayor.
Yosak?
On Broad Street, we did a speed study, and the speeds are slightly high going eastbound on that street. We had some residents, suggesting the speeds were high, so we like to provide the drivers with a little reminder that they're going a little fast through that area and see how that alleviates the situation. It's also the trailhead for the NRVT in that area as well. So,
Have we done any traffic counts there or done any speed counts?
we have done speed counts there. The traffic hit at westbound is within reason. It's the it's the eastbound traffic that's a little bit high. It's up around 40 miles an hour.
Okay.
So we like to slow them down a little bit and give them a reminder of how fast they go.
Any questions or comments from the commissioners?
I'm sorry, Mike, did you say something about the trail there on Broad Street?
Yeah, there's the NRVT starts there. It goes along the Eversource property.
Yeah.
And once we connect it with the other section that's being built now, we expect a little bit more pedestrian traffic there as well. So.
Yeah, I actually have been using that trail a lot more lately, and there is excessive dumping at the start of the trail, like right at the start on Broad Street. I mean, it's just terrible. So if you can, somebody pass that along.
I definitely will pass that along.
Yeah, thanks.
Any further discussion? Anything from the police department or? Okay, all in favor of the LED radar sign on Broad Street, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carries. That brings us to item number 5. Approve the road closure plan for Hendricks Avenue for the annual St. Anne Feast from July 22nd through July 25th. Do I have a motion?
So
I just want
moved.
to disclose I'm a member of St. Anne's.
I'm sorry?
I just want to disclose I'm a member of St. Anne's.
Okay.
I don't,
Yeah, I am too, so.
so we're fine.
Yeah, that's right.
Well, I moved it.
Okay, Commissioner Collier Clemens moved it. Any questions or comments? Chief or Deputy Chief?
Oh, they've done this in the past. It hasn't really been any issues that we've seen.
And the neighbors have all been notified like as normal. Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Item number 6. Approve the road closure plan for the 2021 Norwalk Oyster Festival from September 10th through September 12th, 2021. Do we have a motion?
I so moved.
Commissioner Collier Clemens. I see we have Jerry Tony here, who looks a lot like Mike Riley, but
Hey, how you doing?
good, thank you, Mike. How are you?
Good. We're getting excited. Everything will be the same. We don't see any difference, anything different on our side. Everything should be the same.
Any concerns or questions from the police department? I know we've been doing it like this for several years now.
No, we're good partners. Everybody works well together.
Any discussion or concerns from the commissioners?
No, I have none.
Safety first always. Thanks.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Motion carries. Item number 7, approve the parade route for the Norwalk High School Boys Basketball State Championship Team celebration on Saturday, June 26th. The parade will begin at 9 a.m. at Veterans Park and travel through South Norwalk, Norwalk Center, and terminate at the Norwalk Bound Green on East Avenue. Parade route includes the following streets: Washington Street, North Main, West Avenue, and Wall Street. Do we have a motion?
I so moved.
On this, as you know, for the first time ever, the Norwalk High School boys baseball team, who were ranked number 24th in the state, played in the tournament, and for the first time ever, as I mentioned, won the state championship in the Class XXL division. It was quite a remarkable team effort, and we're very proud of them. And there's been a lot of comments that perhaps we should have some sort of a parade for them. I have reached out to the Coachmans, and they're going to provide a couple of older cars, We're still working on more of the details, but as we see it, the parade will be in the right-hand lane, the entire way. It's not going to close down the whole street. That's what we believe at this time. But I know Deputy Chief Walsh is usually working on this. I don't know if anybody's reached out to you yet, Deputy Chief. We're not hearing you. I know you're not on mute, but we're not hearing you. Still getting nothing.
I can speak to it because the Deputy Chief Walsh had informed me that he has been contacted. He is working on it along with the traffic unit and is coming up with a plan to deal with the flow. It's going to be more of an escort than like a traditional shutting the roads down and that kind of thing. But he's on top of it.
Okay.
He's shy today. That's all he is to
Can
me.
you hear me now?
Now we can hear you.
Okay.
Sound like a Verizon commercial. Can you hear me now?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can. Okay, well, any further comments or questions or discussion on that?
Congratulations.
Yeah, congratulations. I think this is exciting.
Yeah, it was actually very exciting. The final score was 1-0.
What?
Yeah, and they played against West Hill and Stanford. I finally get my revenge against David Martin, but okay, all in favor?
Aye,
Aye, motion carries. Thank
well
you.
deserved.
Next item on the agenda, I believe in your packet, and this is just a discussion item right now. There's a letter from a Miss Mimi Chang, a quite detailed letter explaining some issues that she has and others have with truck traffic in the area of East Avenue, Fort Point, and so forth, and Fitch Street. Also detailing some incidents where she found herself in a precarious situation. And she's asked that we have this on the agenda for the meeting so we could discuss some of the options. One of the things she alludes to in there, and maybe Mike or Garrett can speak to, is about the traffic plan that has been put in place for the walk bridge. Garrett, you might not have that information, but Mike, do you have that information, the traffic plan, so you can refresh our memories?
I do. Some of the traffic has been pushed onto Strawberry Hill and Fitch Street during the evening detours when the bridge underpass is closed there on East Avenue. I think that's mostly during the evenings and on weekends.
How does getting onto Fitch Street help them? They're making a left onto Fitch?
Well, basically they go up 136 there over onto Norden Place and then down Strawberry Hill to get underneath the bridge. That's the only route they'll have available other than the underneath Fort Point Street.
Where are they coming from? Are they coming from I-95?
Some of them would be coming from I-95, yes, and others would be coming from that were down in East Norwalk or something like that to get out of there. We don't anticipate too much traffic that way, and we also looked at pulling back the stop bar on Fitch Street a little bit to make those turns a little bit easier and less precarious.
Yeah, that making a left-hand turn from East Avenue into Fitch Street is a very difficult thing, to say the least, especially if there's traffic waiting to stop on at the light on Fitch Street, waiting to come out onto East Avenue. And I certainly understand Ms. Chang's position and any car that's there. So what are the alternatives that we have?
We like to pull that stop bar back to give a little bit more room to make the turn there, and that we can do, relatively easily and quickly.
What other kinds of things do you anticipate, or Garrett, what other kinds of things do either of you envision we can do? And have we done a truck count on that?
Yeah, so we did look extensively at the truck traffic there, and agree with Mike that removing the stop bar back and maybe potentially staggering it, because there's 2 lanes on that approach, will greatly help resolve some of the congestion at that corner. So we can look at new pavement markings and signage. I know that DPW, it's my understanding that they're also in conversations with the state, and they've provided a number of recommendations for that detour route. And it's my understanding that we're waiting to hear back from the state as far as mitigation. And Mike, you can correct me if I'm wrong.
Yeah, we have been working with the state on that as well.
So enlighten me. Where is the truck traffic coming from, and where is it going? Just so I want, for my own edification.
Anybody that would really need to get to East Norwalk, the beach area or anything like that, would have to get out of there. They're restricted by the bridge height. They could not go under the Strawberry Hill Bridge when East Avenue is closed, so they would have to go up to the next block. That's the traffic we envision. The other, most of the truck traffic will be detoured down Fort Point and underneath the Fort Point Bridge as they do, pretty much currently today.
Yeah, I mean, even that's a dangerous turn. That's a tough turn too. So when you move the stop bar back on Fifth Street, would you also have a sign posted next to it to say stop, please, stop here or whatever, so that people, because a lot of people might not realize that the stop bar has been moved back and might cross over it. I know that would help somewhat when the truck trying to make a left-hand turn there, but it's a real challenge.
We're looking at doing two things. There is putting up that stop here sign as you suggested, and also looking at the possibility of installing a bike box there, and painting that so it kind of also calls the attention to the motorist to stay parked further back from the crosswalk and the intersection.
And I'm not sure, did you answer the question about how many trucks we see going during the day there?
I don't have that information in front of me, but I can certainly try to get you answers.
Well, it's important to know, I think, and commissioners, you can jump in at any time. I think it's important to know how many trucks we have. And I know it's a challenge to stay out there all day or to get an idea of being out there all day. I understand that. But the number of trucks and, if possible, some of the times that they may be going by. So do they go by mostly in the morning? I know right now there won't be any children walking to school, except maybe if there's having summer school at Nathan Hale or Narragansett. But so that's a little bit better situation. But it can be rather challenging and dangerous if it's getting to be too many trucks. I know that with the work being done, there's not many alternatives that I can come up with, or as to where the trucks can go.
I will check on the truck information. We also we can put some traffic counters out there to classify the vehicle the vehicles using those roads.
Well, I know the letter also mentions the 10 Norton Place request for a distribution center, but the applicant has withdrawn that request. So I don't believe that's really an issue. And I know that they're going to be having a pre-meeting with the owner of the property for something that is a lot less of a situation where they'll have a lot less traffic going by. So we'll stay tuned for that. The commissioners have any other questions or comments? Then I want to ask Mr. Valella and Mr. Yosak if they've read, I know they've read the letter, but what other kinds of things do they think we might be able to do?
Well, I know some traffic issues on East Avenue, but not so much the truck traffic. That's not what I see. I see like coming from the beach going toward 95, there's the, straight lane and the right lane, and cars are like where the mobile station is and the train station, there's cars that are constantly cutting people off on the right instead of taking a right on Winfield Street like they're supposed to. So I see that as a major issue in that area.
Yeah, the right lane right there is supposed to turn right and the other lane is supposed to go straight. That doesn't always happen. I know I see it sometimes with out of towners, and there's probably, they don't realize it because they've probably not driven that road before, but you're right.
Yeah, well, I would speculate that it's not just out of towners, that it's people, because the straight lane backs up pretty far.
Oh, yeah.
Back into the road. So I think people see like, oh, here's an opportunity to get in and just like cut people right off. So I don't have a suggestion for it because I'm not a traffic engineer, but I think it's something that's worth, looking at and seeing if we can change that somehow. I don't know if making it more clear that it's a right turn only lane or I don't know what the answer is, but it's definitely a problem spot.
I think we repainted that area as well. It might have to do that again to make it a little bit brighter so that people can see it a little bit more clearly. Maybe, I know the sign is off to the right on the sidewalk. I don't know if we can put it up on the light itself or something like that so that we can, it'd be more visible. But if Mr. Valella and Mr. Yosak can take a look at that area and look at the comments in the letter, which is actually quite detailed, and see if there are other recommendations that we might be able to make. Now, I haven't been in that area in the past week or so. During the day, is that lane still closed now? Is that how that's working? Not the lane, but
Mike, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but I haven't observed any lane closures in that area during the day last week.
Yeah, I have not seen anything last week, but I was off most of last week, so I don't want to really, I'm not sure.
Mayor, I would propose that just as we did for the East Avenue at Fitch Street, that we look at, like you mentioned, pavement marking, signage, so low-hanging fruit, and some quick and simple betterments we can make in the interim and prior to the detours implementation that can help improve things like congestion and traffic caused by heavy or large vehicles in the corridor.
okay. And again, maybe I'm just missing something. We're making them turn left onto Fitch Street. Where would they be going if they weren't turning left onto Fitch? They certainly weren't going to go under that bridge.
I think most of the traffic is for the construction is not being forced to turn left there. I think they're being told to turn right there. It's more the traffic that would come up from the beach area. They would be told to turn right onto Winfield and then up through Norton Place and out back to I-95. It's the return traffic.
I
not-
understand that, but if a truck is going southbound on East Avenue and
I'm-
coming to Fitch Street,
I think it's just
you didn't
maybe,
make them turn left on the Fitch, where would they go?
it's probably just
Okay,
deliver.
let's say that we're back to things like there were before. There's no work being done on the walk bridge. There's nothing being done on East Avenue. And a truck is coming down East Avenue. Would they normally make a left-hand turn on the Fitch? Or is this something that we're having them do?
It's nothing that we're having them do. It's probably either they're delivering stuff to people on Strawberry Hill or in that area of town.
So they would have been doing that before anyway, is that correct?
That's correct. It's not because of the Walk Bridge project.
Okay,
It's,
that's kind of where I was a little confused, if you will. Okay, so if we could take a look at that, Mr. Valella, Mr. Yosak,
Yep.
bring it back to the commission at our next meeting, just any other kinds of things we might be able to do?
Absolutely.
Are we still going to get the count of the number of trucks that were traveling in that area that possibly is adding to the problem there?
I
know
believe. Mr. Yosak
The
said he's
mayor
gonna-
asked for a count. Is that going to be included?
Yes,
Yeah,
we can provide a data for trucks and heavy vehicles in the corridor
Okay.
and for turning movements.
The other question I have in this this email from her in the second paragraph, she understands that a traffic light will eventually be installed.
Yeah.
To bring some order. Where is this light to be installed, and is that true?
yes, it's part of the Walk Bridge project. It'll be at
Okay, okay.
is that going to be at Fort Point Street, correct?
Fort Point. That's correct, Mayor.
Fort Point and East, Fort Point and East, yeah, okay.
Yeah, because that's a hazardous intersection right there.
Yeah, it is.
People just coming off of coming off of Fort Point left onto East Avenue, they just take chances.
Yeah, and without the light there, that gets backed up and, with the light at Winfield and East Avenue, it backs up underneath the bridge. A lot of traffic goes through there. I grant you that. And I think with the improvements being made on East Avenue will help to some degree. I know that a lot of people are not in favor of it, but I think it will eventually help with some of that traffic because as we all know that going northbound on East Avenue virtually any time of the day is a lot of traffic, and coming southbound, same kind of thing. So hopefully as we start to look at the improvements, just Mr. Yosak, there was a plan or a design for the I-95 overpass. Is that still part of this, or is that something that the state is going to do?
That the state will do that. That's a separate project. It's still in the horizon, but they haven't finalized or haven't presented anything to us in a while. So
That's that crisscross design, am I correct?
that they were looking at that, yes. Whether they're reevaluating it, I'm not sure, but I can get an update for you on that.
So Mr. Bolella, are you familiar with that one?
I'm not, but I believe it was supposed to be a double diamond interchange. It was one of the concepts they were exploring. I think, as Mike said, it's really early in the conceptual phase, but I haven't heard of it being advanced yet.
Yeah, it was certainly interesting.
Yes, it's a tight area. There's not a lot
Yeah.
of space, so it is very challenging with the right of way.
Okay, any further discussion? I also want to thank Ms. Chang for her letter. She took a good deal of time and energy and effort to do that, and we'll take a look at it. Next item for discussion is the artistic crosswalk ribbon cutting on June 29th. I don't see a time here, but I think it's like at 10 o'clock. I'm not sure. But we can get that information out. Certainly, the commissioners are welcome to attend. If you haven't seen the crosswalk, you should take a look. That was approved a couple of years ago in the budget, but has been delayed because of obvious things. And I believe the Triangle Community Center paid for a good percentage of that because they were looking to have a design. There are some other crosswalks that we're looking at, perhaps where an organization might want to do an artistic crosswalk, such as the colors of their nation's flag or something like that. For instance, Commissioner Sternidi and I are both members of St. Anne's. If they wanted to do a red, white, and green crosswalk or something like that, they can petition to do that. And of course, they would have to pay for the artistic work. So, but it's kind of interesting, this a concept that's happening more and more frequently around the country, and it's kind of interesting. Any further discussion? Okay, then I would accept a motion.
I so move to adjourn.
Okay, and the next meeting is on Monday, July 19th at 4 p.m. And by that time, we'll determine whether or not it'll be Zoom or in person. All in favor of the adjourning?
Aye.
We're adjourned. Thank you.
Now we're going to the link using the email the chief sent us a little while ago.
I'm sorry.
No, you're going to use the original meeting link from Rebecca from the city.
Oh, okay.
That's the webinar link.